Picture this. You're standing in line at Disneyland, waiting to buy popcorn. The price? $5.50 for popcorn. Next to you, parents are shelling out $35 for a pair of Mickey ears. And if you want to skip the hour-long wait for Space Mountain, that'll be another $20 to $40 for something called Lightning Lane. Welcome to the modern Disney parks, where magic comes at a premium. But here's the thing. It wasn't always like this. Today, we're diving into how Disney transformed from an affordable family destination into a luxury product that many American families simply can't afford anymore. And the wild part? They keep raising prices even as attendance drops. This is Money Behind the Scenes, and today we're talking about the real price of magic. Let's rewind to July 17th, 1955. Disneyland opens in Anaheim, California, and it's unlike anything America has ever seen. Back then, most American amusement parks were kind of a mess. They were loud, dirty, and designed for adults. Think human cannonballs and sketchy carnival rides. A lot of them were literally falling apart. Walt Disney saw an opportunity. He created something completely different. A clean, safe, family-friendly park. And here's what's really important. He made it affordable. On opening day, admission was $1 for adults and 50 cents for kids. Rides cost extra, between 10 and 35 cents each, adjusted for inflation. That's about $12 for adults and $6 for kids to get in. Compare that to today, where a single day at Magic Kingdom can hit $184 during peak season. The success was instant. ABC televised the grand opening live, and 90 million American households tuned in. Think about that. This was a national event. Within the first 10 weeks, 1 million people visited. By 1960, 5 million people were coming every year, and the financial impact? In just 5 years, Disneyland boosted Walt Disney Productions' gross income from $27 million to $70 million. Walt knew this was just the beginning. But there was a problem. A lot of Americans on the East Coast would never make it out to California. So he started dreaming about something bigger. October 1st, 1971. Walt Disney World opens near Orlando, Florida. A ticket costs $3.50, about $28 in today's money. Walt once said something that became the company's philosophy. Disneyland will never be finished. It will continue to grow and evolve. And boy, did it ever. But expansion wasn't cheap. When Epcot opened in 1982, it cost Disney somewhere between $800 million and $1.2 billion to build. That same year, they changed how tickets worked. Instead of paying separately for rides, you'd pay one flat rate for everything. A one-day ticket on Epcot's opening day, $15, or about $50 in today's money. Throughout the 80s and 90s, prices climbed steadily but predictably. New parks opened, MGM Studios, Animal Kingdom, and each time, there'd be a modest price increase. But then, something shifted. After the year 2000, no new Disney World parks opened, yet prices started climbing faster than ever. And in the 2010s, two decisions changed Disney pricing forever. 2016. Under CEO Bob Iger, Disney introduces seasonal ticket pricing. Now days are divided into 3 tiers: value, regular, and peak. The price difference? Significant. For the first time ever, a one-day ticket breaks the $100 barrier. And it worked. In their first quarter after the change, Disney reported that higher ticket prices helped push parks and resorts' revenue up 6%. 2 years later, they took it even further. Now, your ticket price is tied to the exact date you visit. Want to come during summer vacation or Christmas? Get ready to pay premium prices. Visiting on a random Tuesday in February, you'll catch a relative discount. Robert Niles, who runs a trade publication called Theme Park Insider, explained the logic perfectly. Everyone wants to come during summer vacation and Christmas when their kids are out of school. The problem is, if you've spent billions of dollars building these attractions that are open 365 days a year, it's just not efficient to have them packed for 4 to 6 weeks and empty the rest of the time. This is dynamic pricing, the same model airlines use, or why your Uber costs more during rush hour. The price changes based on demand, timing, and how badly they think you want it. And Disney wasn't alone. In 2016, Universal Studios Hollywood introduced similar tiered pricing, raising single-day tickets to $115. Disneyland Paris went even further, adopting an airline-style model where prices can literally fluctuate until the moment you buy. But here's where it gets really interesting. The biggest changes weren't happening with ticket prices. They were happening inside the parks. So let's talk about what it actually costs to visit Disney today. And I'm not talking about the luxury experience, just a basic, middle-of-the-road family trip. Imagine a family of 4 planning a 5-day Disney World vacation. Nothing fancy, a moderate hotel, standard tickets, regular meals. Let's break it down. First, the hotel. A mid-tier Disney resort will run you about $250 to $300 per night. That's $1,500 for 5 nights. Park tickets for 4 people for 4 days? Around $2,000. Already we're at $3,500, and we haven't eaten a single meal or bought a souvenir. Now here's where it gets interesting. You start adding the extras that didn't used to be extras. Want to skip the hour-long lines? That's Genie Plus at around $25 per person per day. For a family of 4 over 4 days, that's $400. But wait, some rides aren't included in Genie Plus. The newest, most popular attractions require individual Lightning Lane purchases. Those can be $20 to $30 per person per ride. Let's say your family wants to ride Tron and Guardians of the Galaxy once each. That's another $200. And remember, all of this used to be free with FastPass. Then there's the stuff that simply disappeared. The Magical Express used to shuttle families from the airport to their hotel for free. Now, you're paying for a private shuttle or rideshare? Magic Bands were complimentary for hotel guests. Now they're $35 each. That's $140 just for the family to have wristbands. Food is its own adventure. A quick service lunch for 4 people easily hits $70 to $80. Do that twice a day for 4 days, and you're looking at over $600 minimum. Want a nicer sit-down dinner? Add another few hundred. When you add it all up, hotel, tickets, Genie Plus, a couple Lightning Lanes, transportation, food, that basic 5-day family trip costs somewhere between $6,000 and $7,000. And that's without souvenirs, special events, or any of the premium experiences. For comparison, $7,000 could get you a week-long trip to Europe, staying in nice hotels, or a Caribbean cruise with everything included, or honestly, just about any other vacation you can imagine. The median household income in America is about $75,000. So, for a typical family, this trip represents nearly 10% of their annual income before taxes. That's a massive investment for 5 days of vacation. And here's the thing that really stings. The experience inside the parks hasn't gotten proportionally better. If anything, they're more crowded than ever. You're paying more for a more stressful experience. One industry analyst summed it up perfectly. Disney knows where the money is. They've created premium products to extract more from people who have money to spare. If you're a middle-class family, you're getting squeezed. So why is Disney squeezing their parks so hard? The answer is actually pretty simple. They had to. For decades, Disney had 3 main business segments, and entertainment led the way. TV was the fuel that powered everything else. Then came the cord cutters, 2019, Disney Plus launches. Netflix already has 140 million subscribers. Disney threw massive amounts of money at catching up, tens of billions of dollars. At one point, they were spending more than double what Netflix was spending. The result? At its peak, Disney's streaming business was losing $11 billion. Bob Iger later admitted they overinvested in streaming. It was bleeding cash. But while streaming was hemorrhaging money, something else was happening. The parks bounced back from pandemic shutdowns faster than anyone expected. Since 2022, the experiences division, that's parks and cruises, became Disney's biggest moneymaker, accounting for about 70% of operating income. So Iger made a choice: invest in what's working. September 2023, Disney announces they're planning to invest $60 billion in parks over the next decade. Just in 2025 alone, they increased spending from $5 billion to a whopping $8 billion. In 2024, at a conference for Disney's official fan club, they announced 4 new cruise ships and 14 new attractions. The parks aren't just part of Disney anymore. They're the foundation Disney is betting on to fund its entire future. But here's the problem with that strategy. Despite all these investments, in Q3 of 2024, Disney's parks showed disappointing numbers. Operating profits dropped 3% year over year. Disney blamed a softening consumer environment. Basically, people don't have as much money as they thought. A Wall Street Journal survey in 2025 found that 74% of people said experiences like cruises, amusement parks, and Disney resorts had become financially out of reach. Even more striking, a Lending Tree survey discovered that 45% of parents with kids under 18 who visited a Disney park went into debt to do it. The average family with young kids took on almost $2,000 in debt just for the trip. And here's the paradox. Disney parks are still the most visited theme parks in the world. 142 million visitors across all parks in 2023. People keep coming, even if it means going into debt. But cracks are starting to show. Post-pandemic attendance hasn't fully recovered. Even superfans are breaking. As one analyst put it, Disney's problem is they're now catering to wealthier travelers, and wealthier people have more options. Disney isn't just competing with Universal anymore. They're competing with Dubai and the Bahamas, and when a week in Paris costs the same as 5 days at Disney World, that's a real problem. So is there a breaking point? As long as people keep paying, Disney will keep raising prices. In October 2025, they raised the Lightning Lane Premier Pass again. But here's what's fascinating. Disney is playing an incredibly long game, a generational game. The goal is to create lifelong superfans. And if families are priced out, that means fewer trips, less magic, and fewer future fans. As one analyst said, if you spend 7 days with your kid in a Disney park, odds are your kids will be super fans forever. And that's what they're going for. But if families can't afford those 7 days, who becomes the next generation of superfans? This has been Money Behind the Scenes. Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and remember, magic has a price. The question is, how much are you willing to pay?